Good afternoon, everybody. I'm WeatherWatcher Jonathon Rocco, just giving a quick special weather update here on the storm system that'll be heading in our direction later on this evening and especially tonight. So taking a look at the radar across the country now, a lot going on in the Midwest at the moment. A little bit of wintry weather here toward northern Indiana, northern Ohio as well. Just a little bit of snow. This is not a big snowstorm. The bigger story is the severe weather outbreak. It started out in eastern Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi last night. Now it is moving into Alabama, central Tennessee at the moment, as well as off into Kentucky. You can see this pretty scary looking line of storms forming right now into central Tennessee and northern Alabama. This will push eastward, and then there's another line forming right behind it, and that'll be moving into southwestern Kentucky over the next few hours. So they have a big tornado threat going on there this afternoon and even going into tonight as well. Our neck of the woods right now, not much going on, just cloudy, and those clouds will increase over the next few hours, and the rain currently is off to our south and west. Just some light showers in the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore area. That'll be moving northward here by the time we get into this afternoon. So no severe weather threat for us. That is really down toward the south and the west in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia as well. Even western North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia getting into it. But this is really the bullseye, that enhanced risk of severe weather for Tennessee, Kentucky, and over toward the Atlanta area as well. For our area, we're not looking at any severe weather. Like I said, just a general rumble of thunder. You may hear it during the overnight hours, so if you get woken up by that, I apologize, but there's nothing I could do about that. And there are those tornado watches up there in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Kentucky. In fact, it looks like we just got this tornado warning now issued for a community down in southwestern Kentucky. So if you are there, or if you have friends or family in this area here in yellow, or especially the red, make sure they are taking the proper precautions and are staying safe and have a way of getting weather alerts going into the overnight hours. So for us, we do have some rain showers moving into southern New Jersey by about 3:30 this afternoon, south of 195. And by the time we get into this evening's commute, we'll start to see some light showers into central New Jersey. I think it's overdoing the snow a little bit here in this northwest part of the state. I do think we could see a brief period of snow and sleet along and north of I-78 and west of I-287. So just this northwest corner of the state. And even then, it's not a big snowstorm. It's not the 4 to 6 inch range we had just a few days ago at the beginning of the week. Just a trace of snow and sleet possible before the rain does take over later on tonight. Look at this. By 10 o'clock, you see these orange and even a little bit of red returns here on the Futurecast. That's some pretty heavy rainfall that's going to be moving through the state. That continues to about 12:30. And again, you may be woken up by a rumble or two of thunder. And then going into 3 o'clock, most of it's off to our east, out into eastern Long Island, up into New England, but still looking at some light to moderate showers here for the most part in the northern half of the state. And then by the time we get to 5:30, most of the rain should be cleared out of the area. So you wake up tomorrow morning, there may be a leftover shower, but for the most part, we're just looking at a cloudy day for the day on Saturday. And then we'll start to get the sun out there for the day on Sunday. And that is good news if you are going to the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Belmar. Looks pretty good. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures right around that 50-degree mark. So pretty mild as well. Taking a look at how much rainfall we are expecting. Over an inch for a majority of the state, inch to an inch and a half of rain. Some areas could get closer to that 2-inch mark in some of those isolated areas of heavier rainfall. And there could be some street flooding, some flash flooding here from those heavier pockets of rain. The Weather Prediction Center has a marginal risk for excessive rainfall, which means there is a 5% risk for flooding within 25 miles of any given point in that green area. I don't think it's going to be a big issue, but the typical areas that flood when you have a heavy amount of rain in a short period of time, those low-lying areas under those overpasses, I think this is a bigger problem in more of the urban areas over toward Camden, going up toward the Newark area, Hoboken. That's where I think the bigger problems might be in some of those low-lying areas for street flooding. The other kind of flooding we have to worry about is the coastal flooding, which will probably be a bigger issue here. We do have a coastal flood warning in effect for Middlesex County, Monmouth, Ocean, and southern Burlington County. This light shaded green area here for the rest of southern New Jersey is a coastal flood advisory, and that continues up into eastern Union, eastern Essex, and Hudson counties as well for minor to moderate coastal flooding, which means inundation of 1 to 2 feet above ground level. So make sure that if you are in an area, low-lying area in that region that tends to flood during times of high tide, during those minor to moderate flood stages, make sure you do whatever you need to do to protect your property, move your cars to higher ground, etc. You're probably used to all that by now, but just be mindful that during high tide, during the overnight hours going into Saturday morning, there could be some coastal flooding. And also we have a wind advisory in effect down the coast from Monmouth County right down to Cape May County for wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Some wind gusts could go higher than that of about 55 miles per hour. So power outages are a possibility tonight for sure. I don't think it's a widespread issue, but do be mindful of that. Have flashlights by your bedside just in case. Going into the wind gusts here, again, 30 miles per hour or so. Later on tonight, going up to 45, maybe 50 miles per hour along the coast by 1 o'clock this morning. So it's going to be windy out there. Make sure you tie down or take in any loose objects that could fly away in the wind. And the breezy conditions will continue going into the afternoon tomorrow as well. Luckily, it won't be too cold, but it is going to be breezy. So make sure you are prepared for that. And then the winds will ease for a much nicer day on Sunday. So that's a look at your special weather update here on the storm system coming into the area later on tonight. Derek will have the full 7-day outlook coming up later on this afternoon, and of course we'll keep you updated with all the latest here at Rutgers Weather Watcher. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe and have a great weekend.